For 3 months, the dirty, disheveled old man had been living on a bench in Washington, D.C.'s Lafayette Square, ignored and despised by everyone who passed by. But when park security tried to forcibly remove him, 68-year-old Colonel William "Bull" Thompson's true identity emerged. 30 years Special Forces, Medal of Honor recipient, and a father who had given up everything to search for his missing son. That day, the man everyone called crazy remembered who he really was. Lafayette Square, directly across from the White House, was one of Washington, D.C.'s most prestigious parks. Tourists came daily to see the historic statues, take photos with the presidential mansion in the background, and enjoy the manicured lawns. But for the past 3 months, the homeless man living on the Northeast Bench had been disturbing this picture-perfect scene. Welcome to Mysterious Human Stories. Before we continue this unforgettable tale of redemption and honor, tell me in the comments, from which city around the world are you watching today? And if you believe real heroes can be found in the most unexpected places, hit that subscribe button. What you're about to witness will move you deeply. 68-year-old William Thompson had appeared in Lafayette Square 3 months ago. Long gray hair, tangled beard, torn clothes, and army surplus boots that had seen better decades. He looked like every stereotype of a dangerous homeless person. He slept on benches at night, sat by the fountain during the day, and never spoke to anyone. The tourists were uncomfortable. Mothers with children whispered, "That man looks dangerous," while hurrying their kids past. Joggers crossed to the other side of the park. Business people complained to park security about the vagrant ruining our city's image. U.S. Park Police had come several times to warn him, "Sir, you can't sleep here. This is a national park. You need to move along." William never argued. He'd just nod silently and shift to another bench, but he never left the park.
Dog.
Only one person saw something different. Officer Maria Santos, a 15-year veteran of the Park Police, had been observing William carefully. "This guy's not like the others," she told her partner, Officer Rodriguez.
Look at his posture when he thinks no one's watching. Look how he scans the area. That's military training, not paranoia.
But nobody listened to Officer Santos. That Wednesday morning, everything changed. Park Service Director James Mitchell had decided enough was enough. He arrived with a full team: Park Police, Social Services, and a mental health crisis worker. The tourist season was starting, and having a homeless man camping across from the White House was unacceptable. Mitchell approached with his typical bureaucratic authority. "All right, buddy, this is your final warning. Either you leave voluntarily, or we're removing you forcibly. This park is for families, not for people like—" He never finished the sentence. William Thompson slowly stood up. For the first time in 3 months, he truly straightened. His shoulders squared, his chin lifted. His spine became ramrod straight. The tired, disheveled appearance transformed in an instant. "You cannot remove me," he said in a calm but commanding voice. Mitchell was stunned. "And why can't we?" William reached into his worn jacket and pulled out a weathered leather wallet. From it, he extracted a carefully preserved military ID card. "Because I am Colonel William Thompson, United States Army Special Forces, retired." Everyone froze. Officer Santos stepped forward and examined the ID. It was genuine. "But more importantly," William continued, producing a second card, "this park was built with taxes I paid during 30 years of military service. I have 4 Purple Hearts, 2 Silver Stars, and a Medal of Honor. And right now, I'm searching for my missing son." Director Mitchell's voice cracked. "Your son?" William's eyes filled with tears, but his voice remained steady. 3 months ago, my 28-year-old son Marcus was last seen in this park. According to security footage, he sat on this exact bench before disappearing. I'm waiting for him to come back. The entire atmosphere shifted. Officer Santos immediately radioed headquarters. "I need you to check missing persons files. Marcus Thompson, age 28. 5 minutes later, the response came back. "File confirmed. Missing for 3 months. Father is a decorated veteran. Director Mitchell hung his head in shame. Colonel Thompson, I apologize. We had no idea, ... William raised his hand. I don't want apologies. I want understanding. As a father, I'm searching for my son. As a soldier, I'm completing my mission. That afternoon, Lafayette Square was transformed. Officer Santos brought William hot coffee and a sandwich. Colonel, I always knew you were different. Why didn't you tell us who you were? William smiled sadly. Because my rank wasn't important here. My role as a father was. By evening, the story had made national news. Homeless man in Lafayette Square revealed to be Medal of Honor recipient searching for missing son. The next day, the park became a pilgrimage site. Veterans arrived to pay their respects. Families approached William with reverence instead of fear. Children asked to hear stories from the soldier grandpa. His former commanding officers came to visit. Colonel, why are you fighting this battle alone? We're here for you. William replied, This is my war to fight, but I appreciate your support. Security cameras were re-examined. Professional search teams were organized. The media began following the story closely. 2 weeks later, the miracle happened. Marcus was found. He had been in a car accident, suffered traumatic brain injury, and had been in a veterans hospital 3 states away with no identification. For 3 months, he'd been a John Doe patient, slowly recovering his memory. When William reunited with his son in the hospital, 3 months of struggle finally ended. Dad? Marcus said as his memory returned. William cried. For the first time in 3 months, he truly cried. In the hospital room stood his former commanders, Officer Santos and even Director Mitchell, who had come to apologize personally. After Marcus recovered, he asked his father, Dad, why didn't you tell them about your military service? Everyone treated you so badly. William took his son's hand. Because true strength is when you don't have to use your power. I was searching for you as a father, not as a soldier. But you had to tell them eventually? Yes, because I was no longer alone. I needed an army's help. Today, there's a small plaque in Lafayette Square. Colonel William Bull Thompson. Real heroes are known not by their rank, but by their hearts. William and Marcus visit that bench every week, but now they're not there as homeless people, they're there as hero father and son. Park visitors greet them with respect. Children come to hear Soldier Grandpa's stories, and William always tells them the same thing. Rank is written on paper, but fatherhood is felt in the heart. And real battle isn't on the battlefield, it's the fight you give to protect the people you love. This story teaches us that appearances can be deceiving. Sometimes the person who looks most worthless actually has the most valuable past. Sometimes someone who appears homeless is actually the nation's greatest hero. And most importantly, true strength is being able to hide your power. True courage is being able to fight alone. True love is being willing to sacrifice everything for those you care about. William Thompson was called a crazy homeless man for 3 months. But in reality, he was fighting his greatest battle, a father's war to find his son. And he won. Because real warriors never give up. So I ask you, have you ever judged someone based on their appearance? Do you have a situation you later regretted? Share your story in the comments. Because at Mysterious Human Stories, we believe everyone has a story. Every homeless person has a past, and real heroes are sometimes found in the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching. If this story reminded you what real heroism means, subscribe and share. Let's keep these stories alive because every person deserves respect for the battles they've fought. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, remember, never judge anyone by their appearance because you never know what wars they've fought or what sacrifices they've made.